Take a look at shares of Thor Industries, which are up 16% right now, on pace for their best day in 8 years. This after a profit beat, but there's more to the story. Let's bring in Frank Holland, our resident RV correspondent. Frank, what's interesting to me about this is you flagged before this report the fact that Winnebago had done so much better than Thor this year, and there was no real fundamental reason, it seemed, why that gap should be quite as wide as it was. And now look at Thor today, making up some of the difference.
Having a great day. So this could be seen as a sign of some careful optimism in the global consumer discretionary economy. You have to note, Thor had an earnings beat today, but it was largely due to profits from its European RV maker that it purchased in February, Irwin-Heimer. Almost all of it coming from the profits from that company. The U.S. still down, but you got to remember the U.S. is dealing with some very difficult comps from a record 2017.
Okay, so the U.S. already had a strong period for RV sales, but you're telling me European RV sales are a bright spot? I mean, from everything that we read about the European economy, I would definitely not have thought that.
You wouldn't think that. Over there, they call them caravans, and they're also a bit more high-tech than they are here in the U.S., a lot more focused on tech. But I spoke to Bob Martin, the CEO of Thor. He says over there, it's a much more robust market for caravans in Europe. And also, they're planning on bringing a lot of that tech from Europe over to the U.S. to hopefully give a boost to the U.S. sales.
So they call them caravans.
Right.
They're selling well. They're more profitable, I'm to understand. I mean, so is this just a case where the analysts were caught a little bit off guard by the strength of this performance of this particular business? It's a one-day move, and they still have a lot to prove? Or do you think this fundamentally changes the narrative about Thor relative to a Winnebago, for instance?
Short answer is sales of RVs are declining from a record 2017, but next year's projection, even though it's a decline, would still be one of the top 5 best-selling years for RVs. So if you're looking at it as a sign of the consumer discretionary economy, its strength or weakness, well, it looks pretty strong if it's one of the top 5 years of all time.
Fascinating. Frank, thanks very much. Great stuff. We appreciate it. Frank Holland.